Welcome to Lawrence, Kansas in the Ford Fox College Saturday pregame. Today, Casey Paul and the TCU Horned Frogs come to town to start their journey in the Big 12. It all starts right now. Welcome to Memorial Stadium here on an overcast Saturday morning in Lawrence, Kansas, as number 16 TCU enters the Big 12 to take on Kansas. And hello to everybody, Justin Kutch alongside Heisman Trophy winner Eric Crouch. And Eric, this is an historic day because TCU, one of the winningest programs in college football the past 5 years, enters Big 12 play. How will they handle this transition now to a power conference?
Well, they've got the right leader in Coach Gary Patterson. He's not a guy that's going to come in and preach that we're going to a new conference, that we're going to be playing great teams each week. He coaches a process. He wants to get his young players developed and have them understand his schemes and his system, and that's the way that they're going to get it done.
So it's a new start for TCU. It's also a new start for Kansas because they have a new head coach, a big-name head coach in Charlie Weis.
Well, Charlie Weis, he's the coach, he's the leader. He was brought in this program to make changes. Everyone thinks of him as the guy that's going to come in and have a great offense. He's going to be explosive. He's going to do different things, but he's going to play to Kansas' strength. The strength is their running game. They've got two powerful running backs, and that's what's going to take the pressure off quarterback Dane Christ.
TCU is ranked 16th in the country. They start their journey here in the Big 12, taking on Kansas, and it's coming up right after this.
As the sun rises in Lawrence, Kansas, it's a new dawn for two teams in the Big 12. The TCU Horned Frogs, winners of 6 bowl games in the last 7 years, go from being a big fish in a small pond to swimming with the Sharks in the Big 12. And a new era begins for Kansas as well. Under the leadership of Charlie Weis, today marks a fresh start for the Jayhawks. College football on Fox starts right now.
And that new beginning does start right now here in Lawrence, Kansas. Number 16 TCU against the Jayhawks of Kansas. For more on this game, let's go down and check in with Darius Walker.
Hey, you guys spoke earlier about the emphasis of the running game for KU today. Another thing to keep your eye on is creativity from Charlie Weis, specifically at the line of scrimmage. TCU has 2 talented freshmen in defensive end Devontae Fields and right tackle Avion Collins. Sometimes it makes sense with these younger players to go after them with tricks, schemes, things they may not have seen before. And we all know that Charlie Weis is not afraid to run trick plays, so it should be a great game today. I'll keep you guys updated on everything that's happening here on the field.
Darius should know all about those trick plays under Charlie Weis as he played for Charlie Weis at Notre Dame. There is Gary Patterson, now the all-time winningest coach in school history with those 110 wins after the victory last week over Grambling, and Charlie Weis in now his 3rd game as the head coach here for Kansas. Kansas won the toss, elected to defer. Nick Prologo kicks off with Wayman James taking it at the 11. James has a big hole up the middle, now trying to cut to the near side. James cuts it back up the middle across the 40, and great starting field position here for TCU. Eric, how about our Taco Bell impact players for TCU?
Well, you got Josh Boyce. He's their main receiver. He's a target that the quarterback can look at and know that he's going to be there. He's very smart. Stanley Maponga forced 5 fumbles last year, a very instrumental part of their defense, and led in the middle by Kenny Kane at linebacker. At 72 tackles last year, he is the heart and soul of this defense.
And of course, those guys are impact players. You also have to factor in that guy right there, the starting quarterback, Casey Paul, who sat behind Andy Dalton, learned from him, got off to a great start last week, 9 for 9, 201 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's now 10 for 10 on the season as Josh Boyce has his first catch of the game, an 8-yard completion, sets up 2nd and 2.
Well, they come out and just do some things easy at first, get him really comfortable in the game, a quick little pass, and try to let his receiver really make a play and gain a few extra yards.
Casey Paul, a big kid, 6'5", 225 pounds. You see his numbers from last year. Impressive numbers. Wayman James in the backfield. 2nd down and 2 here for TCU. Handoff is to James. And James cuts it back, has the 1st down and more. Gets taken down at the 35-yard line. Josh Williams with the tackle, a pickup of 14 for Wayman James.
We know Wayman James, this is what they're doing on offense. They're going to mix it up with the pass. They're going to come back with a run, really catch you off balance. Look at his balance and his quickness and his footwork and his ability just to get upfield quickly and to gain those extra yards.
What's impressive about this TCU team is how well balanced they are with passing and running. Matthew Tucker now in the backfield. Goes in motion on first down. Paul Hall looking over the middle. And that pass is completed to Brandon Carter. Another first down as he gets taken down at the 15, a completion of 20.
Casey Paul Hall doing what a quarterback should do. Looks at his defense, gives it the right amount of time to develop, steps up and make that perfect throw right on the numbers of the receiver. He's made it easy for his receivers to catch the ball, and that's why he's got such a high completion percentage so far this year.
First opportunity in the red zone for TCU. Carter's in motion. Paul Hall, the option to Tucker. And Tucker will take it up to the 9, a pickup of 6. Holden Tharp there for the tackle. Tucker, his helmet came off, which, you know what that means. We're in week 3 of the college football season of 2012. He's got to come out for a play.
Yeah, go take a break, get some water, and then come back in. But look what we've got. We've got a short, quick pass. We've got a run up the middle. We've got option football. We've got a drop back and throw it across the middle. So really balancing things out, really trying to catch this Kansas defense off guard and keep them guessing the rest of the game.
2nd and 4, Wayman James back in at tailback. Snap gets under the legs of Paul, has to go back, trying to recover it. He can't fall on it, picked up by Josh Williams. And Williams takes it up to the 48-yard line.
This is exactly what Kansas needed. First series of the game, really uncharacteristic of the mistakes here that TCU made early to turn over the football.
A low snap for Casey Paul Hall. Josh Williams was there to recover it. That's the 9th takeaway of the season already for Kansas.
Casey Paul Hall might have been expecting that snap to hit him right in the chest, and it was low. Got it beneath his legs. Really tried to just jump on it, but when he jumped on it, made the ball squirt further. Great job by that KU defense.
Dane Christ under center. On first down, the handoff to Tony Pearson. And Pearson takes it across midfield up to the 49-yard line of TCU.
We know that Kansas is going to run the ball. Right now, Tony Pearson, he's really become their breakaway speed guy. Tanner Hawkinson, he's that senior leader on the offensive line, very physical player. They really look to him for that leadership. Totem Purim, he's a guy that's going to stand up on the line and create problems with his speed and quickness for the quarterback.
Those are our Taco Bell impact players for Kansas. On 2nd down and 6, it's Pearson again. Up the middle, you're going to see a steady diet of runs in this game for KU. Dane Christ, the transfer from Notre Dame. Interesting story about Christ is he was looking to spend his 5th year of eligibility at a school, was actually looking at Wisconsin, and Charlie Weiss was kind of pushing him towards Wisconsin. And all of a sudden, Charlie Weiss takes the job here at Kansas and calls him back and says, hey, you know what? Maybe you don't want to go to Wisconsin. I think I may have a spot for you here at Kansas.
Yeah, and this is a great place for him, where he can feel comfortable learning the offense and running it and executing it like he did at Notre Dame.
On 3rd and 2, Christ rolls out, short throw, completes the pass near sideline to Damon Patterson. A completion of 4 yards.
I think it's important, offensive line, to get in a rhythm of this game, blocking for the running game. And when the pass comes, you have to be able to block the defense. Mapanga really getting taken care of, taking the edge down, allowing Chris to roll out to his right and make an accurate throw.
1st and 10, Taylor Cox in the backfield. Hand off to Cox, up the middle, has some room. Cox spins away at the 25, tries the stiff arm, and gets tackled down at the 18-yard line by Kevin White. A pickup of 21.
This is what this offense needs to bring to the table right now. Need to take the pressure off of Dane Christ. The linemen, they're all finding blocks. They're matched up with somebody, and then Cox in the backfield gets to that secondary, putting a stiff arm on a guy to try to pick up a few at the end of the run.
1st and 10 at the 18. Red zone opportunity for Kansas. Hand handoff again is to Cox. Cox, look at that second effort, breaks away from one tackle, takes it up to the 14, picks up 4 as Kevin White finally brings him down.
It's not going to be a surprise what Kansas is going to want to do today. We can see that they're running the football. That's their strength. They have 2 running backs, Tony Pearson, Taylor Cox, that can really catch guys off guard. And defensively, it kind of looks like they're trying to keep up with that running game right now.
Already 4 runs, 1 pass so far for Kansas. On 2nd and 6, once again it's Cox who gets hit in the backfield by Davion Pearson for a loss of 2. Well, we talk about this rushing attack. You find that two-headed monster. These 2 guys are averaging at least 100 yards for the first 2 games.
Yeah, they bring a little different tangibles to the table. Taylor Cox is more that big bruiser, but he's got good feet. We've watched him on film. He can move. Tony Pearson's their speed guy. Uses his quicks and his feet to really make big plays, make a guy miss, and he can take it the distance.
Both running backs in, Pearson and Cox. 3rd and 8 coming up. Chris drops back, steps up, and he's going to get tackled by Davion Pearson. It's going to be a sack, a loss of 4. And that'll set up 4th and 12 and a field goal opportunity here for the Jayhawks.
In this situation, you know your field goal kicker can probably make this kick, but you still don't want to take sacks. If you can get rid of the ball, alleviate that 3 or 4 yard loss, even gives an opportunity for that kicker to be for sure to make even a closer kick.
This will be a 37-yard field goal attempt for Ron Doherty to put Kansas on the board first. And the field goal is good for Doherty. So after the fumble on the snap, the recovery by Josh Williams. I want you to look at the recovery by Williams. He picks it up. Look at that. How big are his hands? It's 3-0 Kansas. Kansas strikes first after a turnover, leading 3-0 over number 16 TCU. Time now for our 4 keys to the game. Mr. Crouch, what do you have for us?
Keys to the game right now for TCU. Perfection is going to be what you're going to see out of them. We didn't see that so far in the first quarter. They need to stop the run. Kansas is going to run the ball, and we saw them do that effectively there on their first drive. Now Kansas has got to be very physical up front. You know that we've talked about it already. They're going to run this football. And what exactly they did, create turnovers, take the ball away from TCU and get it out of their hands because they can make plays.
A very short kick by Prolago, taken at the 20 by John Kuntz, returns it to the 30. It will be TCU ball when we come back here in downtown Lawrence, Kansas. It's 3-0 Jayhawks here in the first quarter. Here at Memorial Stadium in Lawrence, Kansas, it's 3-0. Kansas leading number 16 TCU after TCU was marching down the field. A fumble at the 9-yard line. Casey Paul in the shotgun on first down. Thought about throwing, now will run for it. And he will scoot out of bounds after picking up 4 yards. Fox College football kicks off later today as number 2 USC takes on number 21 Stanford. Tell us what you think and vote on the college football social poll of the week. Who is the best team to get dropped from this week's AP rankings? Log on to Facebook.com/Fox Sports to cast your vote. Arkansas, Wisconsin. Wisconsin hasn't played great in the first two games of the season as the handoff is to Tucker. Tucker breaks free down the sideline across the 50, lowers the shoulder, goes across the 40, and is finally marked down out of bounds at the 37-yard line, a run of 29 yards.
Again, they're really trying to catch him off guard. You can see his balance and his quickness. And then at the end of this run, boom, puts his shoulder down. Just try to give him a little extra pain there at the end of the run.
Dexter Linton felt the pain on the end of that run. Matthew Tucker last year rushed for 702 yards. He's on the Doak Walker watch list as well as Wayman James for TCU. On first down, and Carter cuts it to the outside. as he gets dragged out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Let's check in for our first game break with Patrick O'Neill back in LA.
A 14-yard gain. First and 10 TCU at the 20.
Got a ball game there, got a ball game right here, but this TCU offense is certainly marching down the field for the second straight time. Two backs in. Hand off to James. And James gets tripped up by Josh Williams.
Tackled by number 18.
Let's talk about Matthew Tucker delivering this hit. Not taking that hit, delivering it, saying, hey, we can step up and play in this conference in the Big 12. I know it's a big, tough conference, but we're going to make a statement today.
Second down and 10 here for TCU. Paul Hall in the shotgun. Empty backfield as Tucker goes out. Paul Hall forced out of the pocket, throws, fumbles the ball, and it's still loose, recovered by Kansas. Tobin Apurim with the recovery. There is a flag down on the field.
We talked about Kansas really coming out here and doing things in this game to take the ball away from TCU's high-powered offense. And so far, it's a possible we've got 2 turnovers on our hands already in this first quarter.
Our referee is Reggie Smith, and this could be that old tuck rule made famous by Tom Brady, and Charlie Weiss knows about that play all too well.
Take a look here and see if his arm was in motion. It's a possibility this one might come back to TCU. Bradley McDougald, the safety, coming up and forcing that fumble. Putting a hit on Casey Paul Hall.
I think he got him.
Might just right before he released that ball, when you put it in that slow motion, that ball was coming loose really right before he threw it.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Wow.
Kansas. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding spot. Kansas keeps the ball. First down.
There was a penalty against the Jayhawks on the recovery, but nevertheless, that is the second takeaway for the Jayhawks after TCU was marching down the field seemingly at will.
They have 10 turnovers that's been created so far on defense this year. They're a defense that you really have to consider how aggressive they've been this year. So TCU's feeling that right now.
First and 10 from the 38 here for Kansas. Pearson in the backfield. Play action. Christ rolls out to his right. Throws, and that is picked off. Sam Carter takes it right back.
You got the opportunity to drive down the field and maybe possibly go up 10 points. You really got to take care of the ball as a quarterback. He had 2 guys in the throwing lane. Sam Carter comes up with that pick. You really got to throw that one away. Just throw it out of bounds, come back and have second down.
Nice play by Sam Carter. He actually came into TCU as a quarterback, and he's showing off his hands.
Look at the focus and the concentration of that ball. It's like a tip drill. Got to be able to follow it. Good hand-eye coordination.
18 plays, 3 turnovers in this game. Paul Hall back in at quarterback. Throws far side. Completes that to Ladarius Brown, and Brown will have a first down, completion of 13 yards.
Paul Hall can really do it all. You see him run an option. He's rolling out and throwing the ball. He drop backs in the pocket, throws the ball, keeps the ball himself. He's got speed. Coach Patterson said, you know, the one thing that he's improved on this year is his running game, his ability to tuck the ball, make good decisions, and keep the ball driving down the field to score points.
This offense is averaging over 10 yards per play. Paul Hall runs the option, pitches to James. James, he's able to cut it back, still on his feet. Wayman James across the 15, and he gets taken down as he crosses the 10 down to the 9. A 31-yard run for Wayman James. Greg Brown finally able to drag him down.
No, I don't think of Casey Paul Hall as the option quarterback, but he's running it to perfection. He goes down the line, attacks the defensive end, pitches the ball late, and then Wayman's just making his moves. High tackling, not taking out his legs. He's stiff-arming and just powering through to try to get in that end zone.
First and goal from the 9 here for TCU. James again. And James will pick up a yard as Kevin Young is there to bring him down. Second and goal from the 8 here for TCU.
1 yard gain on the play.
Third possession of the game here for TCU. All 3 trips into Kansas territory, 2 of them maybe inside the 10.
Maybe expect some misdirection play or a slant over the middle.
Empty backfield for Paul Hall. Paul Hall across the middle, and that ball is hauled in for the touchdown. Brandon Carter, what a catch.
Wow, he threaded the needle on that play. Steps right into his throw. Puts a little firepower on that ball. Didn't get touched, but what a great grab by Carter.
Bradley McDougald on the coverage. He had a hand on it, and Brendan Carter was able to rip it away. Jaden Oberkrom on for the extra point. And TCU is now up 7-3. KU got on the board thanks to a turnover. Now TCU thanks to the turnover. The interception by Sam Carter, and that results in a touchdown. The pass from Paul Hall, the completion to Carter. It's 7-3 TCU. Kicking off for TCU, Jaden Oberkrom. DJ Bashirs. Bashirs gets tripped up. As he crosses the 20, will fall down the 25-yard line. A return of 21 here for Kansas. Kansas will have the ball with their worst field position yet, but they have forced 2 turnovers already. Trying to get back in it as they now trail 7-3 in a turnover-filled first quarter. Legendary Allen Fieldhouse. That's a place that I have got to go to see a basketball game. Kansas has the ball starting at their own 25-yard line. Dane Chris in the shotgun. Has Pearson and Nick Sizemore in the backfield. On first down, Chris back to pass, drops it off for Pearson. Pearson has a hole, splits that hole up to the 40, and he gets taken down at the 41-yard line, a pickup of 16.
These are the good plays you like to see out of Dane Chris and the offense. Mix it up, run the ball, throw some screens, throw some quick outs, get your tight ends involved in the game. Throwing the ball downfield right now, the only thing that's going to help you do is maybe push this defense off you a little bit. But right now we've seen Dane Chris make a bad decision in the down the field throws.
First and 10 here for Kansas. Chris, the toss to Pearson. And Pearson able to fall forward, picks up a yard. Let's check back in with Patrick O'Neill for a game break. That is a developing story out there in Stillwater. Here, it's a pitch to Pearson. And Pearson down the sideline gets forced out of bounds by Joel Hasley. Picks up the first down, a carry of 10 yards.
Talked about Pearson and his quick feet, his ability to make the first guy miss. Puts a little move on right there, and then really smart about where the first down marker is. Gets upfield, and then gets right out as he gets the first down.
Kansas once again moving the ball on the ground. Taylor Cox alone in the backfield. The handoff is to Cox. And Cox up the middle, gets up to the 43-yard line, picks up 5. And Eric, just looking at this offense for Kansas and seeing how well they've been running the ball, what do you see from this offensive line that allows them such success?
Well, they've got good leadership on the offensive line. They've got some size, they've got some power, they know where their strengths are, and they're going to use those to their advantage. And getting 2 running backs involved too is hard on a defense, knowing what guy is going to get the ball and showing a lot of misdirection. That's what's keeping them able to drive the ball down the field.
On 2nd and 5, it's Cox again up the middle, and guess what? Again, he moves the chains, picks up 6.
I'm seeing him run with a lot of confidence too, with their shoulders forward and a nice powerful lean, and trying to break tackles and run with their legs continually to move. And when you see that happening, you start to believe that, hey, they really think that they are very good in the running game, and when they actually believe in themselves, that's when they can go and say, hey, we know what we're going to do, you know what we're going to do, and we're going to beat you in it.
And they're taking time off the clock. Again, the handoff is to Cox. And Cox again up the middle, picks up 4 yards. Kenny Kane and Sam Carter combined for the tackle. But you just see, first down, you get 4 yards on first down, you're happy.
You're very happy, and if I'm Charlie Weiss, I'm probably going to go ahead and call 2 run plays right here to make sure that we just continue to wear this TCU defensive line out and try to control the game, control the clock, and try to get the ball in the end zone.
3 tight ends in on 2nd down and 6. Again, it's Cox. Cox tries to lower that shoulder. Joel Hasley delivers the blow. A pickup of 2.
Well, you know that TCU isn't going to let up. They got a lot of speed and a lot of talent. You see Joel Hasley putting a really good hit on him right there to kind of make a statement that says, hey, it's 3rd, medium. If you bring it again, I'm going to hit you.
After 4 straight runs by Taylor Cox, he comes out 3rd down and 4 here for Kansas. Under a minute to go in this first quarter. Nick Sizemore, the fullback, is alone in the backfield as Dane Chris goes to the shotgun. Chris, design quarterback draw up the middle. Chris tried to spin forward, and it looks like he's going to come up just about a yard shy.
Like the call with the quarterback draw.
You're at the 27-yard line. You're down by 4. It's 4th and 1. They can let the quarter run out, but when we come back, do you think they go for it or kick the field goal?
I think you go for it. Their running game has been getting 3-4 yards. They've been only stopped maybe once or twice even behind the line of scrimmage. I think you can get, with these 2 running backs, they can get a couple yards.
The field goal would be a 45-yard field goal. Charlie Weiss and his crew will have a chance to think about it and talk it over in the break. But at the end of a quarter, it is 7-3 TCU over Kansas, and a quarter that was filled with 3 turnovers and 10 points off those turnovers. Number 16 TCU playing its first game in the Big 12. TCU with the ball up 7-3 over Kansas. On first down, play action. Paul Hall completes the pass to Brandon Carter, and Carter gets wrapped up by Dexter Linton. Let's go back to the missed field goal, the 45-yard attempt by Ron Doherty. Watch after he attempts the kick. Grabs that groin right away.
You never know what these athletes are going through during the week. They may kick a ball and tweak their groin, or something might have happened in the game before, so make sure that he keeps himself warm on the sideline and stretched out.
Wayman James in the backfield on 2nd down and 6. Paul Hall, the pitch to James. James picks up the first down as he crosses the 40. Let's go back to Patrick O'Neill for a game break. Wow, wouldn't that be something? Since 1950. Here's TCU.
Why you play the games?
Marching down the field yet again. Paul Hall, play action. Looking down the field. Goes up for Boyce, and that's tipped and nearly intercepted. Greg Brown was on the coverage. Dexter Linton almost picked it off.
You know, one of the rules as a quarterback is you never want to throw the ball late down the middle of the field. You know, typically if that middle of the field is open, it's open for a short window. So I thought he had an opportunity to get his first look, which is his running back coming out of the sideline on a wheel route. Well, that guy was actually wide open down the sideline, so he did make the wrong read.
2nd down and 10. Josh Boyce is that go-to receiver, but so far in this game, it's been Brandon Carter, number 3. The toss is to Tucker, and Tucker with a leap gets up to the 49-yard line. We'd like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching today's broadcast in 175 countries on AFN, the Armed Forces Network. Thanks for all you do. And thank you guys for all that you do down there. 3rd down and 2 here for TCU. Andre Dean is in the backfield. Paul Hall, the option to Dean. And Dean, with that forward momentum, gets tackled by Williams. Let's see where they mark him down.
Marked down by number 9, Jordan Savard. Number 95, Josh Williams.
Josh Williams here, you see him right there on the defensive end. Really slow played that option. And allowed Paul Hall really not to take up the defensive end, which is his job as a quarterback, is to take that defensive end and let the secondary make the tackle.
They're not even going to measure it as 4th and 1 here for TCU. The biggest improvement defensively for Kansas this year has been with its offensive line. This is a huge point if they can get a stop right at midfield. Patterson will call a timeout to discuss this. $11 minutes to go here in the first half. Number 16, TCU leading Kansas 7-3. On 3rd and 2, Josh Williams from the defensive end comes up with a big stop. Fourth and 1 here for TCU. They have to get to the 49 of Kansas. Hand off to James, and James has the first down. Across the 45, down to the 44-yard line of Kansas. Dexter Linton finally brings him down.
Had an opportunity in the backfield to make that play. A missed tackle by Holdren Tharp. Just got his hands on him, but wasn't enough. You know, did a great job of keeping his legs moving, knowing that he had to get that first down. Picked up a few extra yards, probably more than he thought.
1st and 10 now for TCU with Tucker in the backfield. Paul Hall, play action, over the middle. Carter has it, and he gets wrestled down at the 16-yard line by Dexter Linton, a pickup of 28. Let's check back in with Patrick O'Neill for another game break. Russell Shell, the freshman running back, doing some damage for Pitt in that game. 1st and 10 from the 16. It's Tucker again up the middle. Tucker tackled by Kevin Young after a pickup of 3. Fox College football is presented by Geico. 9:50 to go here in the first half. 7-3, TCU leading Kansas. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Crouch and Darius Walker in this first ever game for TCU in the Big 12. They've been able to move the ball down the field, but they have had 2 costly turnovers. Wayman James now in the backfield. It's James. And James gets spun around at the 10. tackled by Oporum. Let's check back in with Darius Walker.
Yeah, this running game for TCU is definitely ramping up. Love the two-headed monster here. But if you watch Wayman James, he's a lot smaller than the other running back. He's 5'8", so he's a smaller guy. You get those big offensive linemen out in front of him. Sometimes for the defense, it makes it very difficult to see him. So keep an eye out for Wayman James sneaking through, cutting through, and hiding behind some of those big offensive linemen.
That's like me when I walk with you and Eric, right?
Exactly.
3rd down and 4, empty backfield. Play clock is down at 0. Do they get the timeout in time? Paul Hall saw the play clock winding down, able to call the timeout. Next Saturday, college football returns to FX with another doubleheader, beginning with the Maryland Terrapins looking to upset number 9 West Virginia in Morgantown. Then Colorado battles Washington State in the Pac-12 opener for both teams. Coverage of our FX Game of the Week doubleheader presented by Geico begins next Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. TCU has used 2 timeouts on this drive. They called a timeout on a 4th and 1, and now they call a timeout on a 3rd and 4.
You almost wonder if they're getting out of their game plan and trying to call something they weren't used to, some trick play or something that took a lot of time off the clock. But good job by Paul Hall to notice that and call a timeout.
Wayman James in the backfield. They have to get to the 6-yard line. Paul Hall pressured, gets rid of it, incomplete. Brandon Carter was the intended receiver. Tobin Oporum applied the pressure.
Paul Hall doing pretty good so far today. Might have been one of his first incompletions. He goes down the field and finds his receivers and puts accurate balls right where they need to be. Great touchdown pass there. You can see the excitement that he brings to this team and the energy level that he brings to the offense in particular.
Jaden Oberchrome on for the 27-yard field goal attempt. And Oberchrome's kick is no good. He pushes it wide right. So again, another sustained drive by TCU, but no points on the board. Oberchrome wide right from 27 out. We've got ourselves a ball game here in the first half. Right here at 7-3, TCU leading Kansas, but after a missed field goal from 27 yards, it is Kansas ball at the 20. Dane Christ in the shotgun. Tony Pearson the running back. Nick Sizemore the fullback. Christ on 1st down looking to pass. Goes down the sideline to his running back. Pearson able to complete the pass, and he takes it up to the 46-yard line.
Wow, look at that incredible pass and completion down the sideline. And Dane Christ came out early, came on fire, and throwing to his receivers and mixing it up a little bit. And then a couple bad decisions, the interception and then a missed opportunity to put some points on the board in the first quarter. But Dane Christ, I see him right now is let's manage this game. Let's complete the short passes. Let's incorporate our running game. And let's do some play action. And I think that's where they're going to have success.
Christ drops back, fakes one way, comes back to Pearson. Pearson gets a good block, springs it to the outside. Pearson down the sideline. Tony Pearson back-to-back big plays, this time for 17 yards.
Unbelievable blocking downfield. Good job of Dane Christ getting out of the pocket and making a play with this. The center lifting a guy up over his feet. And then Pearson just being an athlete, putting the ball in the right arm as he runs the ball down the field. Good explosive speed.
First play was 26 for Pearson. Last play was 17, both in the passing game. Christ dumps it short, incomplete. Was looking for Chris Omiji. Let's check back in with Darius. Darius, what are you noticing down there?
I'm noticing this mismatch that Charlie Weiss sees with Pearson on any linebacker. Anytime that Pearson is one-on-one with a linebacker, Charlie Weiss likes his odds there. So he's really trying to get Chris to throw the ball to him, hand the ball to him. You saw the screen, we saw the pass. Just check out that matchup because it's definitely a mismatch that Charlie Weiss is noticing.
And Eric, you seem to think that those short passes play into the favor of Dane Christ.
I do, and I think just that last one there, you saw him put the ball a little bit behind, which the receiver had a lot of room to run if he would have caught it.
Christ completes the pass to Andrew Terzilli, another first down. So all this time they've been running the ball. Now on this drive, they're throwing the ball with success.
Terzilli just found an opening there in that zone and turned to the outside, and great timing by Dane Christ getting rid of that ball and making a very accurate throw.
An 18-yard completion to Terzilli, 1st and 10 coming up from the 20. Christ drops back. Christ over the middle, completes to Damon Patterson, and Patterson will pick up 6 yards, tackled by Elisha Olabode.
Offensive line doing a good job of protecting for Christ, and Chris going through his progressions and then coming down to his last progression across the field, which was Patterson, and putting it right on the money, putting that ball right on his chest, not leading him into a defender, not throwing it behind him, but making an easy catch, and they can pick up 6 yards.
5 plays on the drive, all of them passes. Empty backfield. Christ right over the middle, breaking a tackle, and now falling forward for the first down is Jimmy Mundine.
I knew all night, all morning, all day, it was going to be an important part to really find that tight end to get him involved in the game. A lot of times those tight ends in a running game, they're expecting that guy to block, and when he pops out there and makes a big play and gets open, it's a very good asset to that offense.
1st and goal from the 9 here for Kansas. Taylor Cox in the backfield. Handoff is to Cox. That's the first run of this drive, and Cox will pick up a yard, tackled by the only senior to start on defense for this TCU team, Kenny Kane.
Yeah, they really like Kenny Kane, what he brings to the table. He's tough, he's physical, he's their leader, and he just makes plays. He finds the football, and when he hits you hard. Makes you remember that he's in the middle of that defensive formation.
2nd down and goal coming up from the 8 here for Kansas. Both teams have missed a field goal. Another sustained drive now for the Jayhawks. Christ, play action. Has to scramble out. Tries to spin away, can't, get sacked by Joel Hasley. A loss of 2 on the play will set up 3rd and goal.
You know they had man coverage. The defender was running with the motion guy, and so he got an extra guy down in the box. Put a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. Penetration by Davion Pearson really made that a great defensive stop. Chris maybe could have thrown that ball away, and again, missed the opportunity to take a sack or a loss. That just doesn't build the right confidence, the right momentum, the right mindset for your offensive line.
Play clock is down to 9, and you can tell that Kansas will be calling a timeout. Charlie Weiss, there it is. Timeout with 1 second on the play clock. 4:22 to go. 3rd and goal from the 10 is coming up. Dane Christ and the offense for KU moving on this drive, but Kenny Kane delivering the blow here. 7-3 TCU over Kansas. 3rd and goal from the 10 here for Kansas. Empty backfield, Christ in the shotgun. Christ up the middle, has some room to run. A flag comes flying in from the backfield as he falls forward to the 5-yard line. Kenny Kane there on the tackle.
Holding, offense number 70. 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
The hold goes against the right tackle, Gavin Howard.
You can see the holding on the right tackle here, number 70. Get his arm outside and then really just brings Maponga to the ground, and every time the refs are going to see that, they're going to call that play. Kansas kind of getting away from their identity a little bit down here on the goal line with even this whole drive, even with pass and then come down, play action.
Let me ask this question. Why accept this penalty? Why not just say defer it or decline it and now make them kick the field goal?
That's a good point. I think they feel that they can
Third and goal,
hold them right here.
Kansas at the 20.
Third and goal now from the 20. Christ across the middle, completes to Omiji, and Omiji gets up to the 4-yard line. So a 16-yard completion to Chris Omiji. Sam Carter with the tackle, and now you've got 4th and goal from the 4. You've got timeouts. Do you go for it, or do you kick the field goal?
They're going to kick. I think the smart thing here is to kick it, and it puts you in a situation that you can be up with another field goal.
Yeah. Ron Doherty, we saw him kind of grab his groin after his missed field goal attempt from 45 yards. He's on here for a 21-yard field goal attempt. Little chip shot. And he's able to nail that one easily. So it's now a 7-6 ball game, TCU leading. Back at Memorial Stadium, 7-6. Number 16 TCU leading Kansas with 3:11 to go here in this first half.
If I'm Kansas, I'm excited right now about the position that they're in. Down 1 point, opportunity to get the ball back and take the lead, and they should be flying around with a lot of energy, and I think that's going to be up to their leadership. They look to their leaders, Dane Chris, to really find that energy level, get those guys excited to play, get them excited and ready with energy to go down and make big plays offensively and defensively.
Nick Prolago, the short kick. It'll be taken at the 13, but fumbled by Wayman James as he collides with his teammate. James still able to recover and bring it up to the 33-yard line. Tonight, college football returns to Fox as Aaron Andrews, Eddie George, and Joey Harrington get you ready for kickoff with the Ford Fox College Saturday pregame show. Then it's Heisman Trophy frontrunner Matt Barkley and the second-ranked USC Trojans going to Palo Alto to take on the Stanford Cardinal, ranked number 21 in the country. It's the Pac-12 opener for both teams. It should be a very good game. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. presented by Geico. Casey Paul Hall in the shotgun. Matthew Tucker in the backfield to start here on 1st and 10 from the 33. Paul Hall, the quick pass, comes near side and completes the pass to Ladarius Brown, tackled by Greg Brown after a pickup of 8.
Kansas corners playing a little bit off, allowing him to pick up those quick and easy 8-yard hitch routes. And if they're going to allow them to do that, they're probably not going to go away from it. And if you can get 8 yards of pass play, knowing with Paul Hall's accuracy, and all you got to do is make one guy miss and you can get to the end zone.
Empty backfield here on 2nd and 2. Paul Hall, pump fake, brings it back, completes the pass again to Brown, and Brown dives forward to the 40. Bradley McDougald there for the tackle, his 3rd of the game.
A little pump fake there, just held the corner long enough for the receiver, Ladarius Brown, just to get back and find the open hole. And good job of Paul Hall with putting the ball in the zone and doing it with the tremendous arm strength and accuracy.
Look at what TCU has done so far in this game, but they have not been able to capitalize. Empty backfield again as Tucker goes in motion. Paul Hall, the quick pass. Complete to Sky Dawson, and Dawson very close to that first down marker up around the 30-yard line. Only one timeout remaining for TCU as they used 2 of those on their last drive. The clock is down to 1:37.
Dawson on that play showing his quicks and little shoulder shake there, and
he can fly.
Corner, yeah, he can straight fly and putting that corner in a bad position to make a missed tackle.
2nd and 1. Handoff to Tucker, spins away from a tackle, gets the first down. Not a surprise to see TCU able to move the ball this way. They've been doing it this entire first half.
Well, Kansas isn't really showing a lot of aggression right here. You can tell those corners are back 8-10 yards off, really respecting the speed of these receivers.
Paul Hall, little shoulder fake, low throw, looking for Ladarius Brown again. That stops the clock with 1:01 to go.
Ben Goodman getting in there too and showing some pressure on that quarterback.
The pizza at halftime. An upset brewing in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. Oklahoma State. They had an injury to their quarterback, but hey, you know what? They're still doing well. And Braxton Miller, E.J. Manuel, those two guys, dangerous dual threat quarterbacks for Ohio State and Florida State, respectively. 2nd and 10. Paul Hall sets up a screen for Wayman James, but not buying on it was Michael Reynolds. Just a pickup of 2. That clock will run under 50 seconds.
Perfect play call there by a screen, and defensive line was coming with a lot of pressure, and they just dumped it off and got the extra yards.
Wayman James in the backfield. Kansas asking for the crowd to get loud. Play time on the play clock down to 10. Paul Hall towards the sideline, completes the pass to Brandon Carter. Tyler Patman with a tackle and Tyree Williams. And he's going to be short of that first down. 9 seconds to go. A timeout taken by TCU. So it's 4th and about 1. Decision time coming up, but here's a look at the Nissan Heisman watch. And what do you know but Braxton Miller has entered his name.
I disagree with you a little bit on Matt Barkley being the front runner right now, and I think Geno Smith with his accuracy and the way that if you look at all these guys that are on this list, Le'Veon Bell, Braxton Miller, they're all the type of player that can really break the game wide open and take it under their control. These players remind me of how Reggie Bush played the year that he won the Heisman Trophy.
Are you saying that Matt Barkley can't do that, or that he hasn't done that because of the so-so performance? Although he had a ton of touchdowns last week at Syracuse.
Of what the Pac-12 is going to bring to them, their defensive ways of doing things in the Pac-12, we really haven't seen that. And we don't know that the Pac-12 has the ability to show that.
A 37-yard field goal attempt for Jaden Oberchrome. And Oberchrome is able to hit this time. He missed from 27. He converts from 37. It is a 10-6 ball game. TCU leading with just a couple seconds left here in the first half. Who needs tickets? Just sit on the hill, have your barbecue there, and you can watch this game. And it's a good one so far. 10-6 TCU playing in its first Big 12 game, leading Kansas. TCU comes in ranked number 16 in the country. A very, very young team, but they've been moving the ball offensively. But they've had 2 costly turnovers, a missed field goal. Jaden Oberchrome will kick off here for TCU with just 4 seconds to go here in the half. Don't forget, Kansas gets the ball to start the second half. And Kansas will just fall on this ball and run out the clock here in this second quarter. Jameis Mundine was able to pick it up. So was the start that Gary Patterson wanted? Maybe not. But coming up on the Pizza Hut Halftime Report with Patrick O'Neill, Eddie George, and Joey Harrington, they'll get you caught up on all that's going on across the country. Back here in Lawrence, Kansas, 10-6, TCU number 16 over Kansas at the end of the first half as we get set to start the third quarter. But a story of that first half, missed field goals. One on Kansas' side and one on TCU's side. And that's a large reason why we have this game right now at 10-6. Hello again, everybody. Justin Kutcher alongside Heisman Trophy winner Eric Crouch. Eric, missed field goals, also turnovers in that first half.
Yeah, and that's the reason why we're seeing such a low-scoring game, the turnovers. But Charlie Weis, this is the game he wanted to play. You know, time of possession, getting his running game going, those types of things that They're really allowing him to be in this game right now. So it'll be an exciting second half if he keeps this up.
Hey, Darius, what the coaches say to you?
Got a chance to catch up with both coaches, guys. And Charlie White specifically, I asked him about the yardage that TCU has been able to get offensively. And he said he's not too worried about the yardage because they've only scored 10 points. He's actually happy with the 10 points. What he's looking for out of his offense is to put some more touchdowns and stuff on the board. So it should be a good second half for you guys.
Thanks, Darius, as TCU will kick off here in the second half because Kansas won the toss but deferred for the second half. Jaden Oberchrome will kick off with DJ Bashirs and Taylor Cox back deep. DJ Bashirs takes it at the 1. And Bashirs tries to break a tackle. He will be pulled down at the 15-yard line. The first half stats brought to you by Geico. And time of possession nearly even.
Yeah, you knew that was going to be the case. The balanced offense of TCU and Charlie Weiss and doing what they do in the running game. I think the key really is those turnovers.
2 turnovers against TCU, 1 for Kansas. Charlie Weiss, this is the game that he wanted. He depended on his running backs, and so far Tony Pearson, Taylor Cox, they have done the job in this game. Marquise Jackson splits out wide. Now it's Pearson in the backfield on first down. The handoff is to Pearson. And Pearson on first down will pick up 4 yards. How about the running game for KU?
Well, it looks like they do a great job up front. Very physical, playing with a little bit of emotion, making some good decisions, getting the ball outside, mixing up a little bit with the inside runs. Really need to stick to that power game here in the second half.
Dane Chris changing plays up in the shotgun. Second down and 6. Handoff to Pearson again. And Pearson gets wrapped up by Kenny Kane. A pickup of 3, and 3rd and 3 is coming up.
Kenny Kane doing such a good job of using his vision and his eyes to find the running back and find where that ball is at, because in mixed direction plays it can be very difficult to find that running back behind the line.
Pearson joined the backfield by Taylor Cox. Chris pressured, and Chris goes down. Sacked by Joel Hasley. A big play here to open up this third quarter.
We've had 3 sacks already on Dane Christ, and anything that he can do to get that ball out of his hand and thrown away to avoid the sack is going to be very beneficial to them through the length of this game. Great pressure on the defensive front by really Joel Hasley coming up the middle and forcing him to take his eyes off the receivers.
Ron Doherty on to punt. Sky Dawson is back deep, returning for TCU. First punt of the game for either team. Dawson says clear out of the way. That one sails out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it out. It looks like it'll be marked down at the 46-yard line for TCU, a 36-yard punt for Doherty. Introducing the UPS Team Performance Index, a new statistical measure that looks at the efficiency of a team's offense, defense, special teams, and miscues to define their competitive advantage. Check out the UPS Team Performance Index throughout the season for a look at the logistics behind a winning team. AC Paul Hall under center. Wayman James. Play action rolling out to his right. Throw to the near sideline. And was the foot in bounds? Yes, it was for Josh Boyce. A completion of 8 yards for Boyce.
TCU as well, running the game, running the ball, getting outside, mixing up with the little options. Running backs are a little shifty, putting on some moves, using the stiff arm several times by Tucker today. Good balance there by staying on his feet, looking downfield, finding out where that next opening's at.
They're going to give James 9 yards on that. Excuse me, they're going to give Boyce 9 yards on that completion, so now it's second down and 1. Running the option. Paul Hall keeps it and not fooled at all. was Kevin Young. And Eric, we were kind of talking about this at the half as far as the option is concerned with TCU. It doesn't look like Casey Paul Hall wants to keep the ball in the option. It looks like he always wants to pitch it.
Well, I don't envision him as the option quarterback. He's a big, strong-armed quarterback who wants to run the option to get the ball in his running back's hands. And what he's got to do a good job of, and which he didn't do there, is when the defensive end takes him, pitch the ball. Not let the defensive end dictate to you. You actually have to be the dictator. You have to take that defensive end out of the game so he cannot make the tackle.
3rd and 2. Paul Hall, play action, rolling to his left, throws on the run, and it's dropped by Josh Boyce. And Boyce knows he had a chance for a big play there. Now 0 for 4 on 3rd down is TCU.
Very uncharacteristic of Josh Boyce. Sure-handed, a smart player, ran a great route to get open, and Casey Paul Hall on the run, throwing to his left, put the ball perfectly in stride. It's just that the receiver wasn't able to bring that ball in, and you're right, being 0-4 on 3rd down is a tough thing to do if you're going to put points on the board.
Ethan Perry on to punt. Bradley McDonald is back deep. KU is coming hard after that one, and this will sail into the end zone for a touchback. So Kansas will get the ball at the 20. A Saturday afternoon here in Lawrence, Kansas, and TCU leads by 4 over KU. Casey Paul Hall not happy with that last possession for TCU. He thought he had the completion to his go-to receiver in Josh Boyce. Instead, they had to punt for the first time, and now it's Kansas with Dane Christ in a shotgun, starting at their own 20. Taylor Cox in the backfield. Christ drops back to pass. Looking for his running back, Tony Pearson again. And Pearson with another big completion out of the backfield, this time for 25 yards.
What I've seen when they get in formations like that where the tight ends are inside and
after trying to take so much time off the clock, now Kansas going more to a hurry up, but this could be one of those where they take some time and switch plays up and let some more time come off the play clock and the game clock. Handoff to Pearson up the middle, and that gap is closed quickly by Joel Hasley and Kenny Kane.
Again, Kenny Kane coming up and making a big stick there, and Pearson, what he doesn't want to let Pearson do is get outside in space, because when he's in space, he's the type of player that can really go down the side, burst to speed, and create big plays and problems for the defensive secondary if he gets past the linebacking core.
2nd and 9. Pearson splits out, Cox in the backfield. Play action again. Christ going towards the sideline. A dangerous pass, was looking for Damon Patterson. There in the coverage was Jason Verrett.
Looking to get outside and get an out route there. Kind of a deep out route than you're used to. Wonder if he was pushed up the field with the man coverage. What I'd like to see them do is a little more quick passing, running game, quick passes, use
quick
the tight
slants.
ends, quick slants, hook routes, curls, ins, outs. Maybe take a few shots downfield just to keep them honest. But when you have that opportunity, know that you're trying to make a big play and try to score a touchdown.
Another team having success here on 3rd down. Play clock down to 1. Chris just gets it off. Chris taking that shot downfield, overthrows his intended receiver, Andrew Terzilli, by a long way. And it's another 4th and 9 now coming up.
3rd and 9, you really don't need to take a shot downtown to score. Maybe throw a 7-yard out route, throw an 8-yard hook route. Let your receiver make a play and pick up that first down for you. No sense in putting yourself in tough situations. Those are complete small percentage completion routes that are deep and down the field, especially late.
Ron Doherty on to punt. Sky Dawson back deep at his own 11-yard line. This will bounce out of bounds around the 20-yard line for TCU. 10-6, TCU leading Kansas here in the third quarter. It's been physical. We've had some turnovers, but we have ourselves a ball game. Number 16 ranked TCU Horned Frogs, led by head coach Gary Patterson, right now lead 10-6. But how about the job that Gary Patterson has done as the head coach at TCU? Look at the company that he has. Winningest active FBS coaches, and you think about now making this transition here to the Big 12, this being the first game in this new conference, and how will they sustain the test each and every week? On first down, the handoff is to Matthew Tucker, and Tucker gets hit hard by John Williams for a loss of 1.
Ben Heaney coming in too from the middle linebacker spot and really doing a good job of just sticking him behind the line and creating what happened as a 2-yard loss or 1-yard loss.
Second down and 11 coming up now for TCU. And this is not what I think TCU had expected, or not what pretty much anybody in the country had expected when looking at this game on paper.
I know I didn't expect it.
Hand off to Tucker again. And Tucker gets up to the 25-yard line. Time for a game break. Here's Patrick O'Neill. Well, 10-6 here, 3rd and 6 coming up, and this crowd getting into it at Memorial Stadium. Paul Hall back to pass. Pressured, gets rid of it across the middle, and he completes it to Brandon Carter down the sideline. And Carter still on his feet, dragged around, dragging the pile across the 45 up to the 42. A pickup of 33 yards.
What great penetration there by Tobin Opurum, getting in and really hitting the arm of Casey Paul Hall. You look at the slot receiver coming across the field. Just makes a break and gets inside that linebacker and then stays focused on that low ball and does a great job with his eyes to find it, and then uses his speed once he catches it to get up the field and fight for those extra yards.
Paul Hall swings it out to Wayman James out of the backfield, makes the man miss. And James up to the 36-yard line. Tobin Opurum with the tackle. A 6-yard pickup for Wayman James.
Wayman James, a guy that uses his ability in the open field just to make guys miss. Sidestepping there and then getting low and bursting up the field, using his speed and his vision to make a big play.
The crowd here wanted a penalty against TCU on that play, as Ben Heaney was dragged to the ground. Empty backfield as James goes in motion on 2nd and 4. Paul Hall, the quick pass, completed to Josh Boyce for the first down. Anthony McDonald, a Notre Dame transfer, makes the tackle.
Almost can kind of feel a little bit of a rhythm here coming by TCU's offense, mixing things up and completing the ball.
Last week was 9 for 9, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half against Grambling. He's not perfect here today, but he's still pretty good.
Yeah, you can't expect perfect every week. Perfect game cannot be played.
Empty backfield once again. Paul Hall gets rid of it quickly. High throw brought down by Carter, and Carter gets tackled right away by Ben Heaney. A pickup of 4. A flag on the play.
Typically in that holding position.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense number 69. 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That goes against Avion Collins, a big penalty against him. Fox College football is presented by Geico. Third quarter, 7:05 to go. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Crouch and Darius Walker. This has been a well-played game as far as penalties are concerned. We have just about as many turnovers as we have penalties. 3 turnovers, all those came in the first quarter. 1st and 25. James and Tucker in the backfield. Paul Hall dumps it off to Tucker, and Tucker again gets wrapped up by Ben Heaney, his second tackle, just a pickup of 3.
Good job by Heaney of just watching where the running back is going to go. When you got 2 running backs in the backfield, in this type of offense that they run, they throw it, they run it, they mix it up a lot. Great job by Heaney just sitting in there and making sure that he was taking care of his responsibility, which is to guard and cover the running back.
This Kansas team lost last week to Rice 25-24 on a last-second 45-yard game-winning field goal. They led in that third quarter, 12 unanswered points by Rice. The defense trying to step up here. 2nd and 22, pressure coming. They dump it out to Tucker. Tucker's got some room, able to cut it back, gets tripped up by his own man. It was Sky Dawson who tripped him up, a pickup of 16.
Good play call there with a little screen and getting the ball into your playmaker's hands. Tucker's done a great job all day of making guys miss and using his shifty ability to make a big play. And Paul Hall getting beat up there a little bit, hitting the ground. I think he wasn't touched last week. This week he's been touched a few times.
3rd and 6. Tucker in the backfield. They have to get to the 19-yard line. Paul Hall taking a shot, goes up top. It's Carter going in, and he's going to be called for a touchdown.
Tyree Williams really just trying to go up and make a play, but Carter's athletic ability and explosiveness to jump up and catch the ball at its highest point and then stay on his feet, the balance and just the wherewithal to know where he's at on the field and cross the goal line for the touchdown says a lot about how smart he is.
Jaden Oberchrome on for the extra point. On 3rd and 6, Casey Paul Hall went up top looking for Brandon Carter. And Carter was able to go up and wrestle it away, stay inbounds, dive towards the pylon, and get the touchdown. 17-6 TCU. Jaden Oberchrome will kick off. DJ Bashir's Taylor Cox back deep for Kansas. And this will go into the end zone, and Bashir's will run it out, and this could be a costly play. Bashir's gets taken down at the 12. If he takes a knee in the end zone, they would have started at the 25-yard line. But let's go back to that last touchdown we saw from TCU.
Yeah, what was impressive to me is how Casey Paul Hall stood in the pocket on this throw. He knew the blitz was coming. The offensive line did a great job, but he stood in the pocket and took a little hit at the end there and put the ball high on the outside, exactly where he needed it for his receiver Carter to make a catch and get in the end zone.
At this point, it's almost imperative for Kansas to have a sustained drive and get some points on the board. Now trailing 17-6. Chris drops back, steps up, looking down the middle of the field, has a man, and it's hauled in by Terzilli.
You just knew that they were going to take a shot downfield. Charlie Weiss loves to take a shot, first downs, 1st and 10s, change of possessions. A good job of Chris standing up in the pocket and leading his receiver in the middle of the field. He knew he had no free safety, so he had time to let the play develop and beat the man coverage down the middle of the field.
A 42-yard completion to Andrew Terzilli. Now the handoff to Pearson with a big hole. And Pearson gets out to the 41-yard line. 17-6 here. Let's check back in with Patrick O'Neill for another game break.
5-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 5 at the 41.
Beamer ball never seems to disappoint. On 1st down, Taylor Cox with a carry. He got tripped up by David Johnson. And a pickup of 3.
Back to their running game, and I think they know that's something they know they need to establish here in the second half, and maybe showing some more runs on the outside and getting guys counter plays, pulling guards and tackles just to try to keep that defense a little off balance. And they're penetrating, they're coming fast and aggressive, so zone blocking and getting a man on a man is going to be important.
3rd and 2. Cox and Christ collide. And that's one of those frustrating plays if you're watching, if you're playing.
Well, it comes down to defense too. Left guard right here taking a little hit, getting himself knocked back into the quarterback and the running back. Really starts with no mental mistakes. You got to know where your running back's going to be as a quarterback. A little confusion on that play.
4th and 1. They're going to go for it too far here for the field goal. Cox in the backfield. Ragone in motion. Play action. Christ in trouble, gets rid of it, and it is incomplete. A turnover on downs. The pressure applied by Sam Carter.
Sam Carter doing a great job of coming up and putting that pressure on Christ and allowing him to throw the ball away.
A big play on 1st down. That was it on the drive. TCU will get the ball back when we come back. That's actually Eric Crouch coming in at the beginning of this game. It was quite an entrance by the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, you can tell. I love parachuting, don't I?
After the turnover on downs, TCU with the ball starting at their own 37-yard line. Tucker and Wayman James in the backfield. Play action. Paul Hall goes up, completes the pass to Sky Dawson, and Dawson will get pushed out at the 41-yard line, a pickup of 22. Let's go back to that 4th down play.
Yeah, here's what created the turnover on down. Safety Elijah Olabode right here does a good job of using his instincts. He might think this is going to be a run here on 4th and 1, but what he does a great job of is keeping his eyes and his vision on that tight end and coming all the way across and making sure that Dane Christ knows that he can't throw to him and get the 1st down.
That led to the turnover on downs, and now here it's kept by Paul Hall, and Paul Hall gets tripped up as he falls across the 38, tripped up by Anthony McDonald after a pickup of 3.
Well, I like what Paul Hall did there. He didn't have a whole lot to work with, but what he did was he got upfield. He made a quick, decisive decision to get upfield and gain 3 yards instead of looking for room to run. He was a good, natural, instinctive play.
2nd down and 7 here for TCU. Had a touchdown on their last drive. Paul Hall across the middle, completes to Josh Boyce. 22-yard completion to Boyce. TCU in search of their 10th straight win. The 9 straight wins, the longest current winning streak in the country. Think about that, just 9 games.
Those are a lot of competition out there.
First and 10 from the 16. Paul Hall gets it batted down by Kevin Young. So 2nd and 10 coming up, but first we check back in with Patrick O'Neill for another game break. Thanks so much, Patrick. It's 17-6 here in Lawrence, Kansas. 2nd and 10 coming up. Play clock down to 5. Handoff to James up the middle. And James will get tackled down at the 9-yard line by Tobin Aporum. A pickup of 7.
Well, that's what it allows you to do once you complete a big pass over the middle. Your linebackers start to get a little bit deeper, and now you can see on the running game you're picking up 5 and 6 yards a pop, and your linebackers are wondering if you're going to throw or run the ball, and that can be confusing.
3rd and 3 coming up. The Kansas defense A little huffing and puffing out there. Time for a big stop for the Jayhawks. Paul Hall has it tipped and incomplete. Was looking for Wayman James. Tobin Aporum got a hand on it.
Tobin Aporum just showing his athleticism, jumping up, batting the ball down. Wiggly ball coming at you is very difficult to catch. And you can see right there that Wayman James had a tough time concentrating to bring that one in.
4th and 3. A 26-yard field goal attempt coming up here from Jaden Oberchrome. Missed from 27, made from 37. And Oberchrome will make it from 26. It is now a 20-6 TCU lead with 21 to go here in the third quarter. We are back here in Lawrence, Kansas at Memorial Stadium. The TCU fans have made their way here to Kansas. Why not? It's their first game as a member of the Big 12 in the Big 12 play. Jaden Oberchrome will kick off here for TCU. The Horned Frogs ranked number 16 in the country. Oberchrome. At the 5, it's taken by Pearson. And Pearson brings it across the 15 up to the 17. 16 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Let's check back in with Darius Walker.
Yeah, just want to talk real quick about the quarterback chemistry that Casey Paha has. When you look at his throws out to his wide receivers, specifically Boyce and Dawson, he's hitting these wide receivers in stride. And you can really tell the difference when you watch Dane Chris throw to his wide receivers. The chemistry is not as much there. So it's definitely something to be said for Casey Paha and the chemistry that he has with these wide receivers been able to develop over the last few years.
Of course, Dane Chris came in, voted a captain right away. A transfer from Notre Dame, and he's trying to work with this team. 1st and 10. Chris dropping back. Over the middle again. He overthrows his intended receiver, Chris Omiji.
That might be an opportunity for him to really just look down to a flat route, a running back, somebody to make the short pass and not give up a play.
2nd down and 10. Down by 14 with 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. You don't have to start throwing the ball all the time. You still have time to run. Christ, pump fake one way, comes back, sets to the screen, and that was broken up by Devontae Fields. Fox College Football kicks off later today as number 2 USC takes on number 21 Stanford. Tell us what you think on the College Football Social Poll of the Week. Who is the best team to get dropped from this week's AP rankings? Arkansas, Wisconsin, Nebraska, or Oklahoma State? Eric Crouch, don't you dare say Nebraska.
It's a good possibility, though. Close game there against UCLA. On the road.
Chris stepping up on 3rd down, throws across the middle to Omiji, and Omiji able to pull it in for the 1st down. That will end the quarter, but that will extend the drive here for Kansas into the 4th quarter. TCU, the Horned Frogs, in their first game in the Big 12. They lead by the score of 20-6. Start of the 4th quarter, 20-6. TCU leading Kansas. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Well, Justin Kutcher alongside Heisman Trophy winner Eric Crouch. And Eric, here in the 4th quarter, down by 14 points. What's the offensive philosophy here for Kansas?
Well, I've saw Charlie Weis so far getting away from really his game plan and throwing the ball a little more downfield. So, to me, those quick passes, the running game, that's what's going to be successful. You've got a whole quarter to do it. You got to just stick to the game plan.
A quick pass to Damon Patterson results in a 9-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Second down and 1. And we've got whistles. The officials will get together. But the good thing is these are not replacement officials.
These are the real ones.
These are the real ones.
Yes. So they should get it right.
Absolutely. Forward progress. It looked like he had the first down. The referee is Reggie Smith. And now they are going to come out and measure. So there you see Dane Christ and Charlie Weis talking on the sideline. Those two guys had a conversation on Monday night. Charlie Weis thought that his quarterback was putting too much on his shoulders and said, you know what, we've got a great running attack. Let's take advantage of that. And he expected Dane Christ to come into this game here today and play much looser and not feel the pressure of having to carry this team.
The pressure's there. The pressure is there, but he's got the team around him, the running game, the receivers, and Charlie to tell him, hey, this isn't all on you. We've got players out here to help you move the ball down the field.
2nd down and 1. Handoff. The pitch is actually to Pearson, and Pearson will get that first down. Dane Christ started his career as a highly touted quarterback at Notre Dame. His numbers there didn't live up to expectations, and those are some lofty expectations. 1st down and 10. Christ steps up, now trying to buy some time, just dumps it off. Intended receiver was Taylor Cox. The pressure applied by David Johnson.
And as I see Dane Christ in the backfield kind of moving his feet, he looks a little bit off balance. You know, if he would just step back and relax a little bit, look down the field, make those throws. He's really hesitant to make those throws. You have to make that decision knowing that you're making a good read, that there's nobody around you, that you can get that ball to the player to run.
2nd and 10. Christ quickly. The slant pass is complete to Omiji, and Omiji got tripped up by Kevin White. White just saved a huge play.
This is what Dane Christ is good at. He's good at knowing where his receivers are going to be, anticipating the pass. He knew he had a slant on. He knew the backer was in position to throw that ball and get it out in front of him. Let his receivers gain the yards. Don't expect big plays every time thrown by deep balls. You know, you can pick them apart by short passes and let your receivers run down the field.
A 23-yard pickup. Christ with some time throws off the back foot. It's up for grabs and incomplete. Intended for Damon Patterson. The coverage by Elisha Olabo.
And when you know you have coverage deep and late, Dane Christ had his running back Pearson in the open field as a check down. He probably should have went to the left side and thrown that ball to his running back. There was nobody around him. It could have been a very big play.
So far this drive, 7 passes, 1 run. Christ looking over to the sideline for the play call. And the play clock is down to 5. Christ over the middle, incomplete. Fox College Football is presented by Geico. 3rd and 10 coming up here for Kansas. And when you look at it right now, the ball is at the 36-yard line. Is this two down territory? Down by 14 points?
You sure would like to get a first down in this situation to give your team an opportunity to get a touchdown. 3 points is not going to work right now.
Christ pressured, gets rid of it, incomplete. Was looking for Tony Pearson. The pressure was applied by Davion Pearson.
Chris spending some time on the ground this series, getting banged around a little bit, taking a little deep breath there, and now he's going to come out there probably going to kick this.
A timeout is taken here by Kansas to talk this one over. What do you do? 4th and 10 coming out from the 36-yard line. You think about it, give us an answer when we come back. Dane Christ, Casey Paul Hall, the comparison.
The yards are there. You take a look at the yards, the completion's a little bit, percentage is probably lower on Dane Christ, but he's kind of out of his comfort zone. You know, throwing the football down the field, and those long passes are.
4th and 10. Christ taking the chance down towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. Was looking for Andrew Terzilli. Kevin White on the coverage, and once again a turnover on downs. And Eric Crouch, I'm going to pose this question to you. Kansas was so successful with the running game. It seems as if they've gotten away from it, much like they got away from it last week. Why?
Well, it's interesting. I feel like there's something about Charlie that maybe he wants to mix it up a little bit more than what the power and the strength of his team is right now. And you can tell that it puts Dane Christ in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation. Although that was a pretty good throw to the outside, gave his receiver a chance to catch that ball. But you got to come down with it. This is the time of the game where guys that stand out and make plays put your team in a position to win. And like Charlie said, he's not here. When we talked to him yesterday, he's not here to lose football games. He wants to win.
Just 15 rushing yards this half for Kansas. Paul Hall in the shotgun. On first down, passes far side, completes to Ladarius Brown.
Pass complete.
An 8-yard pickup on first down for TCU.
Paul Hall just showing his arm strength. The talk about him, he's big, he's strong, he's accurate. He can throw all the passes that's asked of him. A deep ball, a post, the out route on the rope. You saw him there throwing accurately outside on an out route. And there's only really one man to beat. Almost had it.
Matthew Tucker in the backfield, second down and 2. Confusion among Kansas's defense. Play clock down to 3. Paul Hall with plenty of time. Comes again to Brown. And Brown drags a couple defenders up towards the 33-yard line. Dexter Linton finally brings him down. 23-yard completion to Ladarius Brown.
You can tell that he feels real comfortable back there right now. His offensive line's blocking well for him, not letting him get pressured. He's able to look downfield, make his full field reads. He went from the right side of the field all the way back to the left side of the field to complete that pass. His receiver, Brown, was wide open.
First and 10 from the 33. Handoff to Tucker. Tucker lowers that shoulder, keeps the legs churning, and brings up to the 30, a pickup of 3. John Williams and Anthony McDonald combine for the stop.
Yeah, very nice, guys. Tucker, a guy that's had a great day and shown his ability to put his head down and move the pile. You saw there that the pile was created, and his leg drive and his power is able to gain another 2 or 3 yards just on the leg drive, which puts him in a good position now, second and medium, to really run the pick of their offense.
Second down and 7. Wayman James and Tucker in the backfield. James goes in motion. Play action. Over the middle. It's hauled in by Josh Boyce for the first down. And Boyce will be marked down at the 10. So it'll be first and goal from the 10.
This play right here was really just to fool that linebacker with the play action. And he sat there just long enough for Paul Hall to get it over his head and into Josh Boyce's hands. Good execution on the play.
Well, if TCU is able to score here, then you will see Kansas having to throw the ball.
Seems like they're not afraid to do that right now. They've been going down the field quite often in the second half.
On first down, handoff to James, looking for a hole. Makes something out of nothing, picks up 2 yards. Ben Goodman on the tackle.
Kind of feel they're trying to control the game right now, taking off as much time as they possibly can on the clock, running in different personnel. You see receivers going out, running backs and different tight ends coming back in the game to try to mix it up here in the red zone. They've been very efficient in the red zone, and this is an opportunity for them for really to put the ball in the end zone and put the game out of reach for Kansas.
It's kept by Paul Hall. Paul Hall towards the end zone, fumbles the football out of the end zone. Another turnover in the red zone for TCU.
Casey Paul making the right read and using his speed to get upfield, and then as he was crossing the goal line, before the goal line, the fumble was forced by Totem Opuram. Great instinctive play.
Is just allowing this Kansas team to stay in the ball game.
Tobin Opuram just getting his hand right on the wrist of Casey Paul. Actually, it was the hit in the back that jarred the ball loose before he crossed the goal line. Very smart play, very heads-up play.
This play is now under review.
Should be a quick review. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot to look at.
But think about what we have seen from TCU in this game. The opening drive of the game, they're marching down the field. A low snap goes between Paul Hall's legs. It's a fumble. Kansas recovers.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. A touchback, first down Kansas.
You were right. Wasn't going to take very long. Didn't take very long. Then they have another turnover in the red zone, and now you have this one. Opportunity here for Kansas. Christ, that quick pass was looking for Andrew Terzilli. Pass broken up by Jason Verrett. The crowd wants a pass interference.
And what I'm seeing out of Dane Christ right now is forcing that football. That receiver did not have the defensive back beat. The ball was thrown behind him. Verrett able to get his hand in on the play.
Christ again throwing, and that one is incomplete. Looking for Chris Omiji. Kevin White on the coverage, and again, you've got 10 minutes left in this game. You're down by 2 touchdowns. You have time to run the ball. Now you're facing 3rd and 10, and you can't run it.
Well, if you come out throwing the ball, and now you're in a 3rd and long situation, you want to establish that offense, get in that rhythm, feel that you're moving the ball up and down the field, get TCU's defense out of place. That's not what they're doing right now.
Pearson and Cox in the backfield. Christ going up, and that's incomplete. Looking for Terzilli. So after that huge turnover, that results in a touchback. Kansas goes 3 and out on 3 straight passes.
They throw 3 straight passes. You're right, but a play has got to be made by the receivers. On that last play, Terzilli jumped up, had the ball hit him in the chest. He's got to go up and grab that ball, make it a clean catch. If he does that, they've got an opportunity to go down the field and score and continue that drive.
Ron Doherty on to punt. Sky Dawson is back deep, standing at his own 38-yard line. Low kick. Dawson comes up and makes the catch at the 46. A 34-yard punt, and TCU will have the ball. Terzilli went up. He'll say that's a ball he's got to catch as his team trails by 14. It's all on the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Wayman James on the carry, picks up 6. Let's check back in with Patrick O'Neill for a game break. It's 20-6 here in Lawrence, Kansas. 9:22 to go, 2nd and 4 coming up. Charlie Weiss, Dane Christ, and Andrew Terzilli all sitting together on the sideline. Hand off to Tucker, and Tucker will have, looks like, very close to that first down as Bradley McDougald and Ben Goodman make the tackle. It will be enough for the first down. Those 3 guys were sitting together, and you got to think they're talking about that 3rd and 10 play where the ball was up and catchable for Terzilli.
Yeah, it really was a catchable pass. We talked about that. Could have changed a lot of the momentum that you're seeing, and the energy right now on the sideline is not what you expect at a team that has an opportunity to win this football game, only down by 14 points.
1st and 10. Play clock down to 3. Hand off to James. And James picking up 3 yards, taking time off the clock as Skylar Miles makes the tackle.
You can tell now TCU is in that let's run the clock out. We're up by 14 points. We're going to hand the ball off, go to the right, go to the left, keep it inside, kind of wear down the interior defensive linemen of Kansas.
Eric, we spoke at the very beginning of the show about the expectations for this TCU team, led by Gary Patterson, what he has done in the Mountain West Conference, 3 straight championships without any losses in conference play. Being in the top 15 the last 4 years. Handoff to Tucker. And you think about what they have done with this transition. West Virginia joining TCU as the other new team here in the Big 12. Taking on Maryland. We'll be back at Morgantown watching Geno Smith, a Heisman hopeful. But you have to ask the question, with this team here in TCU leading 20-6 over Kansas, people are going to start questioning, if they're beating Kansas only 20-6, are they ready? Can they handle week in, week out the Big 12 teams?
Those 3 turnovers, to me, are a key ingredient to this game not really being out of hand early.
A flag on the play. The pass was complete to Boyce for 3 yards.
Personal foul, offense, number 69, leg whip, 15-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
Avion Collins.
It doesn't sound fun at all.
That's his 2nd penalty of the game, resulting in 30 yards.
Well, he is a true freshman. He's got his hands to the face call earlier in the game for a 15 yards, so he's really accounted for 30 yards in penalties on his offense today.
I think you brought up a great point, though, speaking about those turnovers in the red zone. I mean, that right there, it could be a very, very different game. But 3rd and 20. Paul Hall, the draw. James cuts it back to the outside, tried to dive forward. Came up just shy, about 3 yards shy of that 1st down. Greg Brown able to trip him up.
Looks like he's hurting too. He did something to his knee. I think he came down on his knee strange.
Wayman James, who averaged 7.2 yards per carry last year, good for 7th in the country.
Greg Brown doing a great job of coming up here and making a tackle, making him shift because he knew he'd probably get inside and get that 1st down, but the speed and bringing it allows him to make that play and not pick up that 1st down and keep this drive alive. So what a great defensive play on 3rd and long.
Well, now here on 4th and 3, TCU will go for it. B.J. Catalon in, replacing James. It's kept by Paul Hall, who has the 1st down.
Little confusion on who's going to be in the game for Kansas on the defensive line. A late guy run in and get down, and there was really no extra player on that other side. I think it was a good read by Paul Hall to take the ball and just pick up the 1st down. Here you see him, he knew he was going to run it, just knew he had to get 3 yards, get down on the ground and get up and run another play.
Ball is at the 30-yard line. Under 6 minutes to go here in the game. TCU leading by 14. Handoff. And that's B.J. Catalon. Coming up on the AT&T Game Break show. The upset still looming there in Pittsburgh. Louisiana Monroe, really? Again? And how about Oklahoma State? Starting quarterback goes down, but doesn't stop him. That's all coming up with Patrick O'Neill, Eddie George, and Joey Harrington at the conclusion of this one. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in this game. And TCU has been tested in this one by Kansas. Handoff to Catalon again, who's wrapped up in the backfield. He'll get tackled for a loss. Kevin Young, they're the first to make contact.
Well, if you can come back, pick up the ball here, drive down the field and score, Kansas might have a chance.
You need an onside kick.
Onside kick, and even though those rules have changed a little bit,
Third and 12.
they're trying to take every second off the clock that they can right now to not give Kansas that opportunity.
And if you don't pick up another yard, you're looking at, if you kick the field goal, a 49-yarder. Do they get the play off in time? It does not look like it. There is the
field goal
flag.
range.
5-yard penalty, third down.
That's costly. You've got 3 timeouts there remaining for TCU. And you expect your quarterback, your leader, Casey Paul, to call that timeout. And you actually saw Gary Patterson showing him and saying, look, you got to see that play clock.
Well, that's important. The quarterback's always got to look at the play clock every time they come up to the line.
Paul Hall now on 3rd and 17 over the middle. The pass is complete to Brandon Carter. A flag comes in. And it looks like he'll be about a yard shy of the first down. Bradley McDougald with the tackle, but let's see about this flag.
Possibly got held. Maybe it's pass interference on the defense.
The Jayhawks looking on.
Looks like there's a little confusion down there on what it might be.
The crowd is getting restless.
Now the referees are trying to push the players back.
Personal foul, defense, number 24, a hit on a defenseless receiver. At the distance to the goal, first down.
A hit on a defenseless receiver. Let's see how defenseless he was going up for the ball.
I don't like that. Unless maybe you're saying, you know, helmet to helmet, but defenseless, I mean, you got to go up there and make the tackle.
I think they both have an opportunity to go for the ball, and if when you're going for the ball, reaching up, that both of your heads are in the same position, I see that being a tough call.
Now it's a first down. First down and 10 from the 11-yard line.
A little more confusion on the Kansas defensive line, getting lined up, and really TCU taking advantage of getting up to the line and snapping that ball quick.
Tucker picked up 3 yards. 3:40 to go here. This drive, started with 9:50 on the game clock. So already over 6 minutes taken off the clock on this drive by TCU. Having that play clock go all the way down to around 3. The handoff is to Tucker, cuts it back. And Tucker has it come loose. Recovered by Kansas. Another red zone turnover by TCU. Anthony McDonald with a fumble recovery.
What a great, smart heads-up play of not giving up, coming in, hitting the running back hard, putting your hat really right where the football is, and creating a fumble.
6 trips to the red zone for TCU. 10 points, 3 turnovers. Another turnover here as Kansas gets the ball back with 3:11 to go. Matthew Tucker with the fumble in the red zone. Recovered by Anthony McDonald. And now a chance for Kansas again. But the good news, if you are TCU, is that you took off almost 6 minutes and 40 seconds of time on the clock on that last drive. Christ, first down, pass is complete to Damon Patterson. Tackled by Elisha Olabo, to pick up of 7, and you got to move quickly right now if you're Kansas.
This is what Chris likes to do, those quick passes, let his receivers get out and run.
Christ again finds Patterson. Patterson able to spin away. Takes it up beyond the 20, up the 21-yard line. First down, moves the chains.
I feel like maybe they're going to lure him in here with a slant and go. You know, we've seen slants all day long. Chris feels very comfortable running them. Might see a slant and go for a big play.
You've got Pierce in the backfield. Good receiver out of the backfield. Christ. He's got to get rid of it. And he throws it low, looking for Pearson. That stops the clock at 2:31. Devontae Fields and Stanley Maponga applied the pressure on Christ.
Good decision for him not to just throw it up for grabs. It was his last game against Rice, that last series of the game. He wishes he could get that one back. Making good decisions will be smart for him right now.
Christ over the middle, nearly picked off by Kenny Kane, intended for Jameis Mundine.
We just talked about it. Smart decisions is right now on this drive what it's all about. If you got a receiver that's being covered or doesn't have a step on a guy, you got to come off him, and you got to go to the next guy in the route and the progression. And we didn't see him do that right there, but to be able to be successful right now, he's got to get that done.
3rd and 10. Christ focusing on his receiver, Chris Omiji. Incomplete. Jason Verrett there on the coverage. And with 2:20 to go, facing 4th and 10, you got to go for it here if you're Kansas.
Yeah, you're right. You have to go for it. A little bit forced on the outside on the comeback route.
A timeout is taken here on the field. 4th and 10 coming up for Kansas, trailing by 14. Let's take a look at our Hankook Tires performance of the game. The turnovers forced in the red zone by Kansas.
Well, if you're Charlie Weiss, you're excited about what you're seeing off the defensive front, and these guys making plays, creating turnovers, not allowing TCU to get in the end zone, which really takes the excitement and the energy out of their offense.
Now facing 4th and 10. Christ drops back, pressured, throws it down the sideline, incomplete, but a flag comes in. Will this extend the drive for Kansas?
Pass interference, defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Such a big play right there for Kansas and allowing them to really get back and have an opportunity here. John Kuntz putting pressure in Chris' face, made him just throw it up for grabs. No need to no need to pass interfere anybody. That ball is going nowhere.
So 1st and 10 now from the 36-yard line. Christ over the middle, soft throw, completes the pass to Damon Patterson.
What we've seen today, those passes that are being completed are over the ball. They're having a tough time completing the ball on the outside perimeter.
13-yard gain on the play. First down, Kansas at the 49.
2 minutes to go. Christ for Terzilli. Terzilli pulls it in. Kevin White on the coverage. Andrew Terzilli, a 41-yard completion.
Whatever conversation they had down here on the bench when they were sitting next to each other was a good one. Probably told him, hey, forget about that. We're going to come back to you and give you another opportunity. What a great grab.
Christ. That is incomplete. Over the middle, flag comes in. Was looking for Damon Patterson, Sam Carter there on the coverage.
TCU getting a little aggressive on defense. Kind of in a tough position right now, thinking that Kansas could score right here and be just a 7-point game.
There is no foul on the play for pass interference. The pass was deflected, and by rule, there can be no pass interference at 2nd down.
So now it's 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. Christ looking, throws, completes to Pearson, and Pearson gets dragged down by Kenny Kane. A pickup of 6 will set up 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line.
He didn't have the receiver he was looking for initially, but great job of getting it to his running back and keeping the drive alive.
Christ is going to run for it up the middle. Christ loses the football. The flag is thrown. It's recovered by Elisha Olabode. But let's see what this flag is for.
No matter what flag you have here, Dane Christ is responsible for taking care of the football on the goal line in this situation.
The ruling on the field is a fumble by the quarterback. During the play, personal foul, leg whip, offense number 64. The penalty is declined. First down, TCU.
Well, after 3 turnovers in the red zone by TCU, Kansas has one of their own.
Dane Christ didn't have his first look. I don't necessarily think this was a draw play, but that helmet by Maponga was put right on the football. What a fantastic job of exploding into the quarterback and creating this fumble. It wasn't the fact that Dane Christ had that ball out like a loaf of bread. It was tucked away. It was a good hit by Maponga.
So 1:16 to go, and TCU.
The ruling on the field was a recovery in the end zone for a touchback. First down and 10 from the 20.
There you go. It'll be TCU ball from their own 20. I tell you what, Charlie Weis and this team put up a really good fight in this game against TCU. TCU comes in number 16 in the country. Many people thought Kansas didn't have a chance. This was a game for a long time, really up until the end. And you almost wonder if Kansas runs the ball more in that second half, what happens? Do we have a different outcome, or is it closer or whatnot? But this is certainly a good sign of things to come for Kansas. Our Reese's perfect play of the day happened on that last drive on that pass by Dane Christ to Andrew Terzilli.
Christ just standing in there, let the play develop, put a nice spiral high and outside. Terzilli hit him right on the run. The ball hit his hands, kept himself in bounds. Gave himself a chance to get back in this ball game. Unfortunately, the fumble in the end zone did not help.
Coming up on the AT&T Game Break Show, upset looming in both Columbus and in Pittsburgh. And now Paul Hall will take a knee. And if you're TCU playing in your first game in the Big 12, going on the road at Kansas, and Kansas put up this fight, you're probably thinking, this is not going to be easy.
Well, it's going to be a definite challenge for them moving into the Big 12. The teams that they're going to play week in and week out, we've talked about this all week. The competition is going to be much better. The recruiting that they're going to have to do, the depth that TCU is going to have to build. Gary Patterson talked about that. Some of these things that he's going to find out as he goes through the stretch of the Big 12. What does my team need? What does our program need to do to compete at a very high level?
20-6. TCU will escape with this victory over Kansas on the road. So the winning streak hits 10, the longest in football, but a good effort by Kansas against the number 16th ranked team in the country in TCU.
And I think he's got to be impressed by the way his defense played today. That defensive line, he told us, was a strength, but the defensive secondary, the linebackers, creating turnovers, that's a very positive thing. As you go into the stretch of the Big 12, their defense is able to create this many turnovers that'll cause problems for offenses in the Big 12.
A 20-6 win for TCU. Now let's take you to Patrick O'Neill at the Fox studio for the AT&T Fox College Saturday Break Show.